Hey everybody! So today it looks like we are going to attempt to break into gold ranked 2. Um, I played a little bit over the course of the week here, and I have gotten up to the promotion series. Figured I'd wait until I streamed before I moved along. I actually also am using a bit of a different microphone. You can see it's held together with tape here nicely, but I think the mic quality might be a bit better. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Oh, actually, first, before we do that, let's go over the deck, because a lot of changes have actually been made over the course of the last few days. Um, so what do we got here? So the first thing you're going to notice is I have changed out Knight at Azeroth with Liberator Prime, and that bonus 3 HP is pretty nice, not gonna lie. I've been told to try it out with Liberator Prime before. I was hesitant to do so just because Knight Azorius is definitely easier to quest with, but Liberator Prime isn't that much more difficult in the end, and it seems to be working out just fine. Aside from that, I finally just went ahead and crafted up an Abjuration to put in place of Swift Justice. It's really nice to be able to hit that 9, but there's been so many times where I'm only hitting for 4, so I might as well hit for 4 over 2 turns and get the benefit of stopping their units, especially since Destruction and unit heavy decks are the meta right now. Aside from that, I've cleaned up a bit of my actions. I have actually also added Celestial Prosecutor. This is still in kind of a test phase, I'd say. So far, it has worked out really well. I've added a lot of bonus to units that maybe don't do a whole lot of damage that I'm already using. Specifically, Hurricane Raptor, Disruptive Liberator. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but I still want to get them out there. So putting down a Celestial Prosecutor and then waiting for the next turn and playing down a Hurricane Raptor, or playing these two next to each other, it works out really well. He gets bonuses on all his corners, and then he gets to hit for 4. Or if I get to rewind him, he basically makes all of my low damage utility units hit just that bit harder, which is really helpful in closing the gap on those last few hit points. I have finally removed out the Akkelian Barrier Guard. He doesn't pop any of my unit quests, so I kind of just decided I'm gonna bite the bullet, get rid of that. I really love that blocking 3, but the consistency just wasn't there for it. I've also actually eliminated Long Strike Raptors. I started with 3, went down to 1, and now he's gone. As much as he's really useful for getting in that pop of 3 random extra damage, 2 extra random damage using the Heralder, that's kind of cute, but not really necessary. Skybolt Judicator, however, he's gone up to 2 copies. 2 copies of Judicator is, in my opinion, really great. He hits like a truck on that last corner, and he can threaten to go off immediately the turn after because of Heralder. So he often, honestly, eats a lot of removal, but that's okay, because this removal my other guys aren't taking. Lastly, Strike Force Liberator. I think I added him last time. He's a really great addition to the team. He hits like a truck early in the game. That's all I need him for, and he picks up blessings from Celestial Prosecutor really well as well. No spells. Abilities, I don't think we did much aside from I dropped 1 copy of Tactical Formation, leaving only 1 left in the deck, and moved over, added an extra Opportunity Strike. Opportunity Strike is more useful, especially now that I'm using Liberator Prime, because Liberator Prime wants you... Oh, that's not the right one. Liberator Prime wants that damage on the first corner, so that's just more useful to me in the end. So yeah, we are I think we're just about set here. I think we're going to head on in. Um, just as a random note, we also have complete 5 quests and win 3 games as our quests going on. I played a little bit of casual earlier on today, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. Once again, I am Spelly. If you're just joining me, I primarily play Order on this channel and Ranked. I will probably play Ranked until this promotion series is done. If I pass through, that's cool. I might play a game or two, and then maybe I'll do a couple of casual games with a really janky chaos deck that I've been playing around with just for funsies. Yeah, so we're just queuing up for our match now. What can I say here? I managed to win this achievement today in a random casual match. Basically, I was playing my Chaos deck, and I just so happened to get all of my units and abilities that gain health. I think I had 2 removals in the first couple of turns. I had Blood for the Blood God and just healed myself up and just managed... Oh, sorry. And we're just going to get started here. And basically just managed to get enough health that I was doing so much damage to them by the end, and I was still at 35, but they conceded kind of early, honestly. So I managed to get the achievement for that, which I thought was kind of funny. I would have expected it would have been a death deck. Alright, speaking of death decks, looks like we're up against one right now. Alright, I think I'm just going to throw down a Liberator Prime. So we're just waiting. Yeah, he basically gives away the least amount of information. Even if they try to go ahead and just block his damage with defensive units, I often use Piercing Strike to make this go off anyway, so... Alright, so let's see what flavor of death deck we are facing here today. I think we're going to go ahead and place him here. And I want to put him here. I'm noticing that now with the loss of Knight Azorius, I am questing either down this one or down this one, depending on my action basically makeup. So we're just going to throw these 2 down here, so this guy can rotate units that I'm going to be jumping on. Okay, so Hungry Vampire Lord, and a Bloody Vampire Queen. Okay, so spell heavy deck, or at least potentially spell heavy, probably using those sweet, sweet vampire spells mostly. So we're not facing any sort of probably super burn strategy or anything like that. It's going to be a mid-range strategy. Alright. Alright. I think we're going to go ahead and throw this guy right here. Threaten to go for 7 on our next turn right away. And a Celestial Prosecutor, that's pretty good. I'm not too worried about this ability right now. They have nothing in their bin, so if they blow a removal on this, whatever. Feasting Vargeist, alright. He's just going to gain a little bit of health. And Charging Black Knight, alright. So, gonna get the removal off on this guy. I might as well get in for 7 here. Or 4 here, sorry. Not 7. I think we're going to... We're just going to draw a card. Right, Paladin Protector. 1 turn too late, sir. And so he's just going to gain health, kill my guy, deal 1. That feels nice too. This is actually pretty good to have you're putting units in front of this, so he wants to put units here, but those units don't do as much damage because of the protector. And so he's just going to go for generic hit me guy. That's cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Celestial Prosecutor. And I think we're going to put him right here. Now, only thing I'm a little bit on here is he does want to use an ability here, so he might get some bonus out of murdering my guy and putting him into his hand. That's a potential I see. Frenzied Vargeist. Okay. Alright, so we're actually going to get to block that with this guy, I think, this turn. And this to me says he might not actually have... let's go ahead, throw him here. Would have been nice to have him over here to block that damage, but I think we're going to be okay just getting in there for that. Denying him that removal and extra ability or extra action is always nice. So yeah, I guess everyone is probably aware who'd be watching this stream that I believe the new set coming out is called Onslaught. They've announced, I believe, ogres, realm magic. I'm not honestly that up on what the what is it called? I'm not really super up on what all these things are about, but yeah. So let's take a look here. Now the question is, do I want to just let this rotate do 4? Or do I want to reset back this? I think I'm going to place down this paladin here, and I might be prepared to rewind this guy next turn. Or I might actually rewind the whole team, honestly. So I'm taking a total of 3 here. Life totals are pretty close right now. Oh, getting a removal is pretty big. That actually might work out really well. I might get to hold off on the reset depending on where he plays a unit, if he plays one, of course. He might be dropping a removal on this guy this turn. Actually, he can't do it. Alright, so he's got a Terrify here. Alright, definitely want to use my removal on this one. Alright, and what's kind of great is now when I do this, to rewind my unit, he's actually going to get the bonus once this Terrify comes off. And he cannot remove this one because he has a spell in front of there, so he's not going to be able to use Devour or anything there. He might use a Devour on this guy before he comes up, which wouldn't be shocking. I think we're good to just draw 2 cards here. Alright, another Celestial Prosecutor and another Triumphant Smash. We're getting some nice pulls here, I think. Even if he removes a unit, we're... Okay, so he's going to do another Terrify. Alright. Okay, I guess we're going to do something pretty similar as we did last time. We are going to throw this guy here. Not going to let him get away with that pretty much. I think I'm just going to draw another card. Alright. So what's interesting is I can do the same thing. This one, alright, so he has a Orb of Immortality, definitely something to keep in mind. We're at a pretty healthy life total right now. He hasn't really gotten to do what he wants to do. He's got 2 cards in hand, I got 3. I'm not completing quests super fast. I also haven't had a ton of abilities. I guess all my smashes at this point. So he's just throwing a Beasting Firegeist on there. Okay. I think I want to go put him down here, and I'm going to rewind. He has 1 card in hand right now. It's only going to rewind this guy here, which means he is still going to pick up the bonus on... Oh, he's not going to pick up any bonus. He is going to deal 4, 5, 6 damage next turn, however. And then next turn I can play down another Celestial Prosecutor. So we're just going to dig, I think, for... yeah, we got a lot of damage out on the table. If we can get this as low as we can, him as low as we can before we pop this, that would be my ideal. So he doesn't go up to like... I don't want to hit him for 6 and have him go up 4 and gain another, and be at 10 at the end of it. So 1, 2, 4. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna draw. Okay. So he's got some cards in hand now, as do we. So we're threatening 8 damage next turn. Alright, he's finally going to devour something. So that's pretty good for him. He's only getting a Vargeist, so he looks like he's trying the heal plan here. I guess he didn't want to pick up another unit to attack with just because... So maybe it's just because he wants to get that quest completed. That would be understandable as well. Okay. So that'll do a grand total of 4. He'll roll off. I think we might go ahead and do this. He's used 1 Devour. He could have a second one in hand very easily. So he's going up to 9. Gaining a health. He's going to pop up another Blessing. Depends on what that one is. If it makes everything dormant, this could just be a real... So what do we got here? How many cards do we got in our deck? 17. Okay, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, 17 to 17. Not worried about decking at this moment yet. Even if he goes full hog wild on that. Alright. It's sleepy time for my guys. Yeah, we're just drawing some cards. We have yet to see a single piercing shot, I believe it's called. I'm having a hard time remembering the name of the cards now. So he's just going to beat up on us for a little bit. I still think our board presence is just good enough at this point. Even though I'm going to just be... Okay, so he's going to drop a unit there. He is... That's actually not super bad for me. It's possible that if I can get... He's just trying to hit me while I can't move at this point. Alright, we're just going to draw a couple cards. Piercing shot, piercing shot. Okay, perfect. He is going to remove this. I am going to play a Hurricane Raptor and shoot him. Alright, things are getting interesting now. Now, it is actually super possible that if he plays another removal unit here, I'll throw down the Paladin Protector and protect him that way. I have a bunch of options now. I do definitely have to remember this is definitely a thing. He's going to just draw some cards. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and drop this guy here. And shoot. So we're dealing 6 to him, gaining 2. Okay, that's excellent. So he's at 3. When my guys come off of their thing, he'll be at 4 actually. Oh, so actually he'll do 4. No, okay. I should stop doing trying to do the math in my head, because apparently I'm very bad at it. Alright, Soul Feast, Carry On Blessing. Oh my goodness. Alright, well this is what this deck does. They play the stall game as long as they possibly can. Alright, so how do we do this? I think our best bet is to this is going to remove this. He'll gain 6. Yeah, I want to push this guy forward now. Get him to pop his blessing. And if only I could get him out of the way. Alright. Definitely feel like hitting him for another 3 is the right thing to do here. This way, if this is Blessed Weapon, I can have him drop in and have him with the Hurricane Raptor drop in and deal a ton of damage. Alright. Alright, so he's really grinding us out here. He's popped all of his blessings pretty much at this point. Okay, so there's two real options here. This is either Blessed Weapon, which case... yeah. I think I want to do this still. If this is Blessed Weapon, I'm still getting a couple bits of damage in. So I am going to take 2 here. I can block. Because I can't play a second one, no. Alright, so I'm going to do this. Shoot, I should have played him here to prevent the 2 from that. That's okay. I think I might be able to get 3 and then another 5, depending on what he does. Yeah, this is starting to get away from me at this point. Yeah, I think I may have actually lost this game. Alright. Alright, because yeah, we could do another 5, get him to 3, but that is not enough. Ah. Yep, and he just uses Heroic Act, and that is the game. Yeah, he definitely he definitely just ground us out. That is exactly what that deck is built for, but that was a really good game either way. That sucked that we lost that one, but I'm actually okay with it. Alright, we might end up being back to the same person just because this pops so quickly. Let's take a look. Waiting for opponent. Alrighty. Destruction. Okay, so we're playing a different deck. And potentially a scary one. We'll have to see. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. That took a while. I'll just throw Liberator and Forest down, I guess. He's going to throw a Savage Boar and a Recruiter. Alright. So this is likely Gordrak then. I'll throw him here. Gordrak has a damage symbol on the first one, I think, so it might be worth it just to go ahead and do that. Yeah, Gordrak. Alright, so we're facing the Boogeyman here. So we're going to have to hope for them to not get a nut straw or anything like that at the moment. Alright. This is not a bad start for us by any means. So they're just playing one guy. Okay, they didn't use Recruiter there, so that was weird. I think we're just going to go ahead and throw him down. And throw him down. So we're going to deny him putting his wolf units down if we can. I'm gonna take 2, that's fine. We are still at a higher life total than I was pre, what's it called? Alright. So he's gonna use that. Alright. Yeah, he's definitely a want to remove right away unit. Speaking of guys I want to remove right away, this actually gets one of my quests. I think we draw a card. Alright, Strike Force is good. Especially with him still at a very, very high life total at the moment. Alright, so Shield Guy, that's whatever. Just drawing cards, alright. Just draw a card here. Piercing Shot's great. Now I have 2 options for popping that one off. The Brute Smasher. Just keeping a healthy number of cards in hand, he is not doing a terribly large amount right now. I think we'll go ahead and do this. And this. Now, let's see how he wants to react to this. He's gonna go Wild Chanter. He can't stop my blessing from going off, so that's a great sign. Alright. So he is disincentivized from playing any units down around there. I feel like it might be worth it just to zoom him forward and remove him. Leaves me no cards in hand. I think I just draw 2. Alright. Him having 3 actions is not nearly as bad for me right now because he'll probably draw up a bunch of cards, and that's, you know, never great. But yeah, he's just drawing up a bunch of cards. I think it's definitely worthwhile to go ahead and do a remove. And push. Deal 7. Next turn, I'm likely just going to drop him, draw a card, drop, and draw a card. See if I can't pull out these last few pieces of damage. What is this, Little Wog? Little Wog. Okay. Okay. He's going to have a lot of actions, but not a whole lot else going on. I think think I just throw this down to prevent as much damage as I can while I'm looking for stuff, and just drawing some cards. Decimator's okay. Next turn I just drop 2 more cards probably. He's drawing a ton of cards, that's for sure. Yeah, we're just looking for something like that, Opportunity Strike, because that could very easily be the end of the game for him. I have the deal 6, gain 2 Blessing, which would definitely be enough to kill him. Good morning, Really Valiant. Oh, where are you at? If it's morning, it's 10:47 p.m. here in Nova Scotia. Alright, show off grunts, whatever. Alright, deals a little damage. And play a unit. Gaining 4, that kinda sucks. On the plus side, I actually have a nice little thing here where I am going to Opportunity Strike him for 2. And I'm going to play a Paladin down. He is definitely going to have 247. Woof. Alright, so he's definitely going to have the... So I'm going to take 3 here. I'm still at a very comfortable life total right now, so I'm not super concerned. If he lets my guy live at all, which would be astonishing. Yeah. Deadly Chop, yep. I am definitely going to hit him for 6. Well, good to see you, man. Alright. Let's see here. Gaining some health. Hitting him for 6. Drawing a card. Alright. Unless they gain life, I can kill them. Or if they kill me, of course. Is always a possibility with this deck. He has only 2 actions, but he has a million cards in hand. 8, yeah. So if he pushes his guy, he only has 4 damage on the table right now. So Shield Basher, yeah. Alright, I get the win here. Because I am just going to, I'm going to throw this guy right here. Because Shield Basher is only those 3. And I get to do the 1 point of damage! Alright. That's why I love Heraldry. Or Doots. Captain Doots, Doots McGee. Alright, so we are 1 loss, 1 win in the promotion series. So we are on our way. We just need to win 1 more. Let's take a look. Those are things. Alright. This is the decider. Let's see if we can't finish off this last game. So yeah, that was actually the full Gordrak deck. It was slightly off. I don't think the show-off grunts are usually in the the usual build for that style of deck. However, I do think he did play a lot of the other staples. There weren't any sweeping gores that I noticed. Oh, here we go. He didn't have any sweeping gores. Yeah, I don't know what else. He played Rallying Cry. He played all the normal Grot Ambush, stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a pretty standard build. And I think we're playing the same guy again. All right. So let's see if last time was a fluke. Alrighty. Now this could be a very sad day here. If we lose this last one, definitely has been some good games so far. And Abjuration, we'll say, after I just added it last time, yeah, that definitely made things a lot nicer. So we're going to go ahead and Protector right here. Both of his units that he wants to play there are damage first corners, so if we can make that even slightly more difficult, then we'll just put that there. So, and we got Lordrak again, of course. So yeah, we're working on this promotion series, so let's see if we can't beat the big boogeyman here. So I get to go first. Alright. Not the greatest. I think we're going to start over here, since we have Lord of the Host to do a reset on something. So we're just going to do that and draw a card. Okay, so not quite as aggressive in this particular one. So we'll see how well that works out for us. So he's just going to play like that. He is definitely going to have Rend, because that is 7 or higher. He's an 8. He's an 8. He's got a big stab of crew over there. Alright. Could Piercing Shot and play this guy. He's got 3 cards in hand. Kind of want to save that for over here, but that might take a while to complete at this rate. No, I think I'm just going to play this guy down here. Play it a little safe here. Oops. Get out of here, thing. I don't even know what you are. Sorry, I just clicked a random button. Alright. Now I've got another Piercing Shot. So I'm going to be able to complete my ability quests relatively easily here. So he's just drawing some cards. Alright. I think we're going to Piercing Shot. And yeah, I don't see any reason why I'm not just going to keep doing the shoot a guy or use a thing, play another guy. Alright, so, or bleh. Play a guy, draw a card, or play one thing and then draw a card. Yeah, currently we have 7 damage on deck. I'm sure he's probably going to want to remove one of them, if he can. I'm guessing, oh, he wants to go with Wog Chanter, alright. Beginning to wonder if it would be worthwhile to restart this at all. I think, kind of want to just shoot him. draw another card. I thought about doing a reset just to get this guy back around, but I'm gonna try and take the offensive stance here, try and pop my blessings ASAP now. He's just drawing 3 cards. He's not super close to completing any particular blessing. I think we're going to throw him down here because he carries a blessed weapon a little better than the other guy. So we're just doing 6 and 8. So we're definitely going the full aggro route now. I think we go down here because this is the other blessing he has the most traction on right now. So he's got a lot of actions and he's got a buttload of cards. So we're definitely... Yeah, I'm not just playing that guy down. He's gonna deadly chop me. Yeah, okay. And that's okay. He doesn't have enough damage on board for me to be super concerned. Yeah, sweeping gore, okay. He's gonna try and remove my guy here. Which honestly isn't too terrible for me. I think I'm just going to draw 2 cards because then I can play, if I draw a unit, I can play another opportunity strike and I can just play a unit down. I think that's better. He's not pressuring me enough for me to be super concerned. Alright, so we get no units. Which is a little unfortunate. Alright, once again, we're still not in any actual danger here. I am going to shoot him with this, with a 3. He's not going to be able to complete a quest there because he doesn't. I'm not going to put a unit here for him to remove, basically. He could theoretically complete this one, but I'm less likely for him to do that if I don't kill it. So, okay, Hurricane Raptor. That's great because with Blessed Weapon, I can place him down, he'll pick it up, I can then fast forward him and do the extra damage. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more pressured now, obviously. Let's see. So how much damage does he have on deck? Okay. I think our first step is we gotta pop this blessing, one way or the other. Alright. It's the healing blessing, which it could be worse, that's for sure certain. This is kind of a guaranteed 2 next turn. I think I just want to keep drawing some cards because that's what, 3, 6, 9 if he Gordrax with it, plus 7 potentially if he has the other unit there. I think I want to draw a card to potentially close out this game some point. So he's going for a garrote ambush. Alright. So deal 2. I think it's worth it to do I rewind this guy back to deal 1, to putting him at 3, then have him dead to opportunity strike? Or do I put down another unit? He probably has another deadly chop. I think I do this. Oh no, that was almost the wrong one. I think I remove this. He can't play this, so he cannot complete this quest specifically. So I'm going to deal the 1. I think I'm still fine with health. I'm going to draw another card to see if I can't get... Okay, so another opportunity strike. I'm taking 2. Assuming he does not gain health in some way here, I have him dead. Yeah, he's just trying to fast track that quest as much as he can. He's dead. Alright, it looks like, unless I'm counting something wrong here. And we'll go ahead. Bam! Alright, so we are now into Gold 2. Alrighty. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I played to my outs there as I should. Trying to think back if there was any particular play. The only play that you saw, Ridley, was the... I assume it's Ridley Valiant is how you say that. The only play that may have been questionable is the Recruiter one. The thing I noticed, though, in the first match, and it seemed to play out the same way this match, he never used it properly. He was drawing like bulk cards and things like that, but he was very rarely actually using the Recruiter. It's a very similar thing that happens to a lot of people who are playing Celston Prime, where they go to the end of the turn and they're like, I'm just going to draw 2 cards, when they don't realize like they could be getting some free value by using your Heroic Act. You might as well. To get better cards, or to potentially cheat a unit into play that you might want. Or give you something that you don't want to play anything this turn, but hey, because you drew that card, maybe that changes things. So that's nice. I have to complete one more quest to pop that one. Yeah, he never played it there. I definitely do usually do the Liberator in front of the Recruiter, because that way you're at least neutering that part of the ability. So that's usually a really good play. But yeah, I just don't think he was using it right there, or he just wasn't using it enough, I should say. So yeah, we are now in Gold 2, Division 3, so we're going to be working our way up here. All those lovely prizes. I like to do this. It makes me feel so nice. I wouldn't go that far. I do like to do it. It's honestly funny. I think streaming makes my play a little bit better, just because I'm kind of forced to talk it out loud, and just like with a lot of things, when you start talking about it out loud, you can kind of see like, oh, well, that doesn't sound right, or things like that. So, let's see. My standings didn't change too much here. Yeah, well, I was 115th or something like that earlier. Now I'm tied for 110th with a bunch of people. And Canada, I'm still tied for 7th. Alright, so I think we're going to try one more game in ranked, and then I might play just for funsies chaos. So, let's go ahead and queue up for that. Once again, thank you for everyone for joining me so far. We just broke into Gold 2. Division 3, of course. The game that we lost was to a death deck, that a vampire spell deck, sort of. Very mid-range grind fest. I was way ahead for a long time, but I just wasn't able to seal the deal basically, and he was able to grind me out, which is how those decks work, of course. Aside from that, we then beat the same destruction player twice in a row. He was playing the Gordrak build, or slightly modified version of the Gordrak build. It didn't feel like as explosive as those decks usually do. I'm not sure if that was just how it went down. Oh, my thing seemed to blip there for a second. Hope everyone's still with me here. But yeah, it feels nice to be able to beat that Gordrak deck with this. I think there may have been a couple opportunities where he could have got me, but... Alright, so let's go ahead for another one more match in this, in my new division, I guess. And that's one of those things that's really hard to judge, Ridley, is whether, like... Okay, so we're playing another destruction deck. Whether your play... There's so many permutations of how things could have gone, and the opponent had a ton of cards in hand for a lot of that game. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, did they play out their cards in the best manner possible? I don't know. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I think we're gonna put him here. We're gonna play with a different bit of a lineup. I'm so used to, because I had Knight Azeroth and I wanted to get his Rend to be kind of useful, so I usually put him in the middle. But now that I don't have as Azeroth, I have no reason not to put Vorus in the center lanes, so that he has better range on the restart units. Yeah, that is... I definitely really like that deck, to be completely honest. I don't own any Castellans, so I have not had a chance to build that deck. They're on my list to be... I'm going to craft those probably pretty soon. Alright, so we're facing another Gordrak deck. So here we go. We actually have a really good opportunity. We just played a Gordrak deck twice from one player. Now we're going to see from this player if their plays are any different. If their starts are more explosive, or if their decision making is a little different. So first thing first, they're obviously immediately playing Recruiter, which is great. They're going to cheat a unit into play. I think their ideal turn is usually to do like a War Boss Recruiter into a Rallying Cry that gets you a Beast Guy to give you an extra action, all that jazz. Alright, so he's just going for the full play two guys, go. Alright. So we're going to play this guy here. This is an easy win for this. Yeah, he's only going to do one damage. He's going to do one damage over the course of all of his turns, assuming this guy stays around. I think we're just going to draw a card for the turn. I can't play two of these guys. Oh my goodness. Alright. So that's how we're going to do this one, I guess. So he's going to Recruiter. That might be better for him to put that guy on there as opposed to the guy he currently has on there. Yeah, he's definitely going to cheat that guy onto there. His other guy's not getting through for any damage, so he's not completing that first corner. Alright. I'm feeling like doing something a little cute here, so we are going to Heralder, hit him for 4, do the rewind, get rid of that. He's still not going to do the damage quest on here. I'm going to hit him for another 3. Next turn I'm going to hit him for another 4, all on that one tile. So this is why this guy's really good, especially early on, of course. He has so much value. Okay, yeah. So he had to use a removal on there just to get the quest done and to get rid of him, but he did his damage. He already did 3, 4, and 3, so he already did 10 points of damage by himself. Alright. He doesn't have very many cards in hand, so this is going to neuter his card draw too. And throw this guy down. So, yeah, we both have 2 cards in hand. I am basically going to pop my blessing this turn. He already used... I've used 2 of my removals, which might come back to bite me later. But we will see. Alright. Now, if he has the other removal, that's going to suck that he's going to get there before I do. But, I was willing to take that chance. He already used 1 removal as well. Okay, so yeah, he's just going to do that. I'm going to do 2 damage. Actually going to do 2 more damage. This guy's going to be sleepy. I think I just... draw 2 cards here. I'm not really liking my unit lineup at the moment. So I can Hurricane Raptor and move a guy around, or this guy and move a guy around. Alright. So he never really got those like tons of extra actions that we're always scared of when we're facing the destruction deck. So that's what's happening here. I don't think it's worth a reset. I think we're gonna do this. And just draw a card. Lord of the Host, that's great. Oof, we're getting a lot of really nice cards going on here. Lord of the Host is going to get me my reset here. So I'm going to do 2, then 1 again. Pass this on. So we're just kind of chugging along with our blessing completion here, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to be doing. And I think we just draw another card. Yeah. So this guy's over here not really doing a whole lot of anything. We're still at a very comfortable 25, so that works out really well. They're at 5 cards, I think. Yeah, by the way, this eye symbol is really useful, and let me tell you, there is one thing you should do when you're playing against destruction players. If you look at their number of cards in their deck, when they do the like crazy extra action shit, they will have 6 or 7 more cards out of their deck than you do. Because between things like Grot Ambushes, which are going and digging up units or whatever, and just the ludicrous amounts of extra actions leading to them drawing more cards, you can see it in action, like the card advantage they're getting. So even now, they're like 5 cards up. They've been doing a couple of, I think they've done 1 or 2 extra double draws. Alright. So, now an honest question becomes, do I want to leave my guy to fast forward again? think I want to do this. Paladin Protector. That's kind of useful. I think we're going to go ahead and just do a quick swap here. I just kind of wanted to draw the card. I don't want to reset it because I want to blow that blessing. I think I throw this guy down because he does actually represent 4 damage next turn. So if I get the deal 6 gain 2 blessing, it might be worth it to... Yeah, if it's the deal 6 gain 2, if this guy goes off 2, he kills him. So he's got a Garrote Ambush. Oh, that sucks. He's going to pop a blessing. With my luck, it'll likely be the gain 4, draw 2 cards, which will make this a lot harder. Oh, Smash and Bash. This is honestly the best time for this to go off, because he doesn't have a lot of units in play to actually abuse with it. Yeah, that's not when you want to see that blessing. Alright, so he saw that, I think. So, if I go ahead and... I think my goal now is... Yeah, if this guy carries the weapon, the blessed weapon, yeah, he carries that a lot better. So if I push... He's got how many cards in hand? He's got 3 cards in hand. I'm at 14. He doesn't have any particularly damaging units on the table. So I think I just go ahead and push this guy forward. And then naturally next turn I'll have enough damage on table to kill him. And if he kills one of my guys, I can still get... He probably won't be able to kill both my guys, honestly. So he's probably going to do, yeah, he's going to do a dig. So Scrapper definitely deals damage. That represents 6 damage if he puts it on the stacking guy over on the right. Alright, so we're seeing the dangers. Seeing the dangers of this deck. Alright. I think we're okay. I think we just won, yeah. Alright. So he just wasn't able to stop the momentum that we had built up earlier on. We squashed out his units that gave him extra actions. See, I hate that I don't have enough time to actually say, like, good game to this person. Alright. So maybe this deck actually has a decent enough matchup versus the big bad there. So about that particular game, yeah, I think it was a risky play to rush that blessing by removing all of his units there. I think we just saw, like, he played the units that gave him extra actions, but because he never got to have a ton of those extra actions, it felt like we were still playing the same game. And I think that is the reason why people are super... they have a super problem with how destruction goes about doing its thing, because when it's doing it, it's basically like you're playing a game of Magic the Gathering, and you have 3 lands or 2 lands, and they have like 8. It feels like they're doing so much a turn that even if their units are kind of like, they're okay units, especially once they start getting stacked, but they're not that great. But it's just they flood the table and then can press the Gordrak button and murder you. But when you take away those extra actions, you feel like you are playing the same game as them. So, the other main thing in that game was the playing down and abusing as much as we could the, which unit was it? The one who deals extra damage when they have high health. This guy, I did not give this guy the amount of due he deserves. Strikeforce Liberator is one of the more valuable units, and he's a common. He deals so much damage by himself if you get him early, and he is still useful later on. With Blessed Weapon, he can pick up a Blessed Weapon just fine. He can pick up a Celestial Prosecutor thing just fine. And I think Celestial Prosecutor, he never showed up that match, but he did show up in our other games, and he made our low damage units more valuable. Excuse me, I'm just running. Yeah, I need a little bit of water there. He makes the units... yeah, I did it as well, really. Like, don't feel bad. Prosecutor, so far I've been pleased with him. As I said, I've only run... This is probably the 6th, 7th game I've had with him. So far, he's shown up well. I definitely don't think I'd go more than a 2 of. He might even be something that's a 1 of. In a 30-card deck, a 1 of basically means that if the game goes long, you're going to see him. But he seems like he's putting in enough work for me right now. Just because he bumps up these little idiots with their little damage. He's really good. Once you put him beside a Paladin Decimator, that's where things get fun. Because you're just like, well, I just fiddle my guy, and he's going up. His 1, 2, 3 is now like 2, 3, 3. And the other guy then deals 4 if they leave him alone. And if they're leaving him alone, they're not getting rid of the guy actually doing the damage. And this deck has quite a few units, like, I'm not sure how many exactly. It's 19 units. 19 units in a 30-card deck. We usually have another guy to replace him with, as long as we're not just... That's why I never just flood the whole table if I can help it, or unless I'm really pushing my advantages there. But yeah, he is definitely... If there's one unit that people are kind of on, it's probably Prosecutor. I don't think anyone has ever said anything bad about a Disruptive Liberator. They're perfect, as far as I'm concerned. Alright. Where's my leaderboard? Other people are probably using this guy too. Yeah, I think it's just because I don't actually... Oh yeah, because I'm not leveling my guy up, never mind. What is that? The Griff Charger Pack. Let me take a look at it. I think I remember which one it was. Let's see, up at the very top. Alpha Griff Charger, you mean? I did have him originally in one of my lists. He definitely is good. Like, if you can put him across from a higher cost champion, and almost all the decks, I think, right now that we're playing against, they have at least one of these one of the 7 cost champions or more. He does put in a lot of work. Oh, Griff Charger Pack. My bad. My apologies. Griff Charger Pack. I don't even think I have one of him. It wouldn't shock me. Yeah, I have, just so you know, I have no, like, beasts. I have very few of those. It's not even like, most of my units I didn't construct. Like, I didn't build. Like, so, okay, Griff Charger Pack restarts the highlighted thing, move them forward. Okay. Restart is one of those things where it is situationally really powerful, but it does actually have a con to it. And in our deck, all of our quests, want our units to like get off of them at some point. Because what are our champions here? Champions we've chosen. So we've got Knight Heralder. He has like 1,000,000 units on him. He rarely gets completed in a match unless it goes long, honestly. But obviously, he can dupe them along, get them off faster. I usually Warsa's ability is once again another one of those situational ones. You can set him up by staggering which units with how many quarters you want. I think I used him in 1 or 2 of the placement matches. I don't think I used him in the last match. He is really good when you have a basically if you're able to get your board flooded with some units and they aren't dealing with them in time. If you're going to win the damage race that's on the table, that's when you use Vorus, when as many of your guys are going to already be at the end, like get them to their end step and then rewind them back. He's also really useful for if you need to stall. Like, it feels really dumb, honestly, to just use it to restart a Hurricane Raptor, but that is more useful than you would imagine, more often than you'd imagine. Because Hurricane Raptor, he's one of the few Stormcastians, just so you know, that actually has damage on his first corner there, which, if you have a Blessed Weapon out, rewinding back means that you could be doing minimum 3 damage, potentially up to 4 or 5 damage. I can't remember how much Blessed Weapon does off the top of my head. Yeah, so you can be doing 3 or 4 damage with that on a reset. That's really powerful to be able to control, and then knowing because he rarely gets murdered by anything. He is... The last 2 games, we were winning in a way that didn't let me use Vorus's ability to his best. Is it possible that something like a Vandus in those cases would be more useful to us? It's possible. And I think that might have to do with the matchup. I suspect Vorus is better when you are either when you're far ahead to seal the deal, as I said, where you're winning the damage race on board, and you just want to rewind all your units back and keep doing more of the same. You'll notice actually Vorus is really good when you have another unit that is kind of people are about is Celestial Prosecutor, because I rewind all my units back, and then next turn I know anybody on either side who's going to get this +1. And that can be really useful. Another champion to consider for that point cost, as I said, could be Vandus. I don't run any beasts, and I don't think I have a point total. Yeah, I'm using, I think, like, okay, so I actually could put a Vandus in, or a Castellant in there. But then I'd have to change my unit mix up a little bit to include some beasts, obviously. So what else? Theoretically, you could go with something even like Lord Relictor if you want to play with some spells. Righteousness is a very useful spell, just so you know. You could use him. He'd probably actually have a slightly better game against the really grindy decks, because you would be able to use Gift of Sigmar to gain yourself a ton of health. And he also is capable, I think, of using... So, I'm trying to think. He'd be useful potentially if you wanted to go for a spell route. Vandus obviously could be really good if you want to put some high impact units on there, although he is kind of difficult to complete his quest, because basically every unit that has a removal on their thing is kind of a pain in the ass to complete. Usually you end up having to run a couple of tactical formations in order to get him in front of a unit first before you can do the removal. Because once they get to that corner, you just never ever put a unit on there because you don't want them to complete their quest. Let's see. What else? Is there any other unit that we really want to see in place of him? We don't have the points for Celestant, at least not with Duder here and Protector Prime. I don't think I have to explain how good Protector Prime is. You put him in front of anybody who's going to be putting down a bunch of units, and you'll prevent. He gives you a -1 to your health. He's gonna get you way more than that in value. Heralder, I've seen some lists drop him. I personally think it is super useful, especially if you're going to use Blessed Weapon, once again, because it means your units, most of which don't have any damage on their very first corner, it means that they can pick up the Blessed Weapon, as it were, and hit them with it much faster. I don't think there's any other unit I'd rather have in there, in that slot. When we do, if we ever get the best of 3 rules where you have sideboard options and your 5th champion to choose from, Vandus makes a very good case for being your alternate. You could bring him in against the really heavy removal death matches, like the one we lost, actually. Vandus would have been really useful there because we could have just kept putting our good units on that particular champion and made them pay for it every time they wanted to get rid of them. But Vorus is better for sealing the deal and making sure that your onboard presence is able to finish them off. Is basically how it boils down to. And Vorus also has the very cute interaction. It doesn't happen as often as you want. You get a Hurricane Raptor, a Disruptive Liberator, maybe 2 of one of those on 3 lanes, and then resetting them to basically be like, you don't get to do anything now. But that happens a lot less often than you'd imagine. If only because Hurricane Raptor lasts so short of time. So what else? Trying to think if there's anything else. I think I'm very pleased with having removed the Long Strike Raptor. There was way too many games where he was going around his full thing and getting a whopping 4 damage out of him. He just, in a thing where I want to be able to get, I need to complete my blessings and I need to have a bunch of units to do so. Having someone who sticks around for 4 turns to not deal that much damage, 95% of the time, feels bad. Whereas Skybolt, yeah, he's only dealing 4 on this thing, but it is so much easier to set him up for, put him down, say, hey opponent, you better solve this problem right now, or you're going to take 7 next turn. And even if they do, it's so easy to set him up with a Triumphant Smash that you can be like, oh, well, you take 4 now, and then I Triumphant Smash it, rewind him back, and then use Heralder to hit you for another 7, dealing 11 points of damage. That's really valuable in a game where your health is 30. Definitely happier to now have 2 Opportunity Strike instead of 1 Tactical Formation. That was one of the other changes we made. Not sure if I want a second Lord of the Host. I kind of like it as a 1-up right now. I haven't felt like, oh, I really want another one of these, and I think the one of Divine Vengeance is the right number for a deck like this. I want to be using it. Basically, that's a late game thing where I'm like, okay, I don't want to see this in my opening hand if possible, but eventually I'm going to want to use it because you can put people in literally impossible situations where it's remove my unit or he kills you, but if you remove my unit, I kill you. So, it is very good, but you also can run to the thing where they blow all the removal and that you didn't have the vengeance at the time and it's just a dead card. So, one seems like the right number. So yeah, I'm just gonna end on a fun one, fun deck that I've been playing with just in casual. It's gonna be my Chaos Sacrifice deck featuring a bunch of one-ofs and a wizard because it's so good. The wizard's so good, guys. Yeah, so things like Corn's Chosen. Basically, this deck doesn't have any. Yeah, down with Chaos. I like this one. It's weird because I think I really want a Death deck, but I don't have like any of the champions for it. This one you don't like need any champions, but I have like none of the units for him. So I have like none of the rare units that make this deck super good, but for a casual game, it's at least fast because it deals a lot of damage. Alright, so we got skeletons. I'm betting dollars to donuts there's going to be a Skulking Necromancer that sits right there. Let's see if the amazing wizardry of me is correct. Is a Skulking Necromancer going to sit right here, or a Nagash maybe? Skulking or Nagash, one of the two. Shooter guy, are we seeing Skulking? Oh yeah, Skulking Necromancer. I see you. Alright. So we're going full support wizard with this guy over here. We'll see if we see any spells. No, we're not going to see any right now. Let's just throw this guy over here. And draw a card. So normally, I prefer to play a guy right here, because this thing right here can't reach him now, but that's okay. I assume he's just going to keep putting down units down in here to make that not a great play. Alright. That's not prison. We'll see. Alright. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this guy down here. I think I'm going to complete the damage quest on this turn, and then remove him to get that out of there. I really don't want to deal with that. Alright, so that could be good. Okay, that's a new change of plans. I might actually just let him draw the damn cards. He's going to do a little damage to me. He's got 2 cards in hand. Do I want to remove it? Actually, yeah. So he's going to deal 3 to me. Cool. I'm going to deal 1 to me. He'll deal 4. Gain some life. Rejoice in some slaughter. And is it just units when they're removed? Removes a unit. I shouldn't let him have the cards. He only has 1 card left in hand. I really can't just let him have the cards for no reason. Next turn, definitely going to throw down the Frenzied Blood Reaver down in here, sacrifice him, draw 2 cards. That seems like it should be fine. Alright, so a really, really long time in coming to deal 4 damage to me. So we're going to deal 4 in here. We'll do a remove. Deal 3. Draw a couple more cards. Now the question is, do I think I can take 4 here. I think that's fine. So next turn I'm going to pop this blessing by throwing down probably this guy and then my removal. I won't lie, I feel like it's so much simpler to play with this. It might just because I'm not playing in ranked now, so it doesn't. I don't honestly care as much. But let's go ahead, see what happens here. Oof. Yeah, it doesn't really do much. Ah well. This guy's a demon, right? So that's gonna do good. That's a bad sign. I'm pretty sure this is just some newer player who's still getting used to it, and that's fine. Everybody starts somewhere. I'm gonna put some units back in this deck. I don't know if he thought they were gonna go to his hand. I guess he's banking on this getting him 2, which, to be fair, he is gonna in fact get that 2. Alright. Let's throw this guy here. And we're gonna draw a card. Yeah. So this is gonna be pretty simple at this point, I think. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to gain some health. Mostly just because I can at this point. The synergies of gaining 5 life while Total Carnage is in play. Oh, it's gonna block some. It's gonna block 1. And a bolt. Okay. Yeah, I think we've hit him a little too hard for this to work out for him. Draw a card. Alright. Oof. Yeah, I think this is a newer player. This is the thing that happens a lot, I find, with a lot of the newer players, is that they don't see the value of drawing cards, like just doing play a unit, draw a card, play a unit, draw a card. Yeah, it just... And I don't blame them, like, they haven't been taught quite yet that that's the way to play, really. Alright, so I'm going to be doing... You put me at the magic number of 15, so this is going to... I'm going to hit like a truck. So we're going to pop this blessing over here with Furious Strike. We're going to play this guy down here, so he deals 3 or 4 damage, I think. Yeah, 4. So let's go ahead. Throw this here. Say we just are going to kill him from this. And that'll be GG. Alright. So, what have we learned that game? We can learn that my pile of slightly better cards can beat up on someone with what probably was the starter deck. Alright. No, I changed my mind. I think I am going to do one more ranked game before the end of the day. Sorry about the drinking water. How's the mic quality been, by the way? I am using a new headset, well, new-ish headset that I managed to break a bit, but I think the microphone quality is a little bit better than it used to be. Alright, so we're playing against Chaos this one. Yes, now you can say down with Chaos. Let's just throw down this guy here. Alright. Let me increase that then a little bit. While I'm waiting for him to place his champions. Alright, does this sound a little bit better? Ah, sorry about that. Okay, sweet. Okay, great. I will just never ever change these settings now because I don't want to deal with this again. Interesting. I definitely would have placed this guy here, but maybe that's just to get away from this guy, which so that could be a perfectly reasonable play, honestly, on his part. So what are we doing here? Alright, so here we go. We're gonna see Celestial Prosecutor right away at the beginning of the game. So this is actually a great opportunity to figure out how this card is gonna play for us. So I'm definitely thinking I want to let this guy rotate out once, assuming he doesn't like immediately kill it or something. Alright. So he's doing stuff, Alright. I think we're just going to keep him out of using anything there. And play this guy here. So get a little bit of extra damage off of this guy. He's going to get bonus for these two corners. So yeah, he's kind of doing the better version of what I was doing in my previous game. Alright. Now the question is, do I want to push it forward or do I want to do another rewind back? I think I'm going to do a push forward on... Actually, no. I'm going to do a rewind. This is kind of where I want to do the rewind. I know I'm missing out on doing a bit of damage there, like guaranteed. And then... and just draw a card. Triumphant Smash, great. So we're gonna get to play the rewind game depending on where they play stuff. Yeah. So we're only 3 health down from them right now. We have a bunch of damage on the table. You do no damage, good sir. Not your popping a blessing. Ah, that sucks. Alright, so I am punished for trying to keep a bunch of units on the table, but that's okay. That definitely could have been at a worse time. They've got, what, 3 cards in hand now? Let's see. So he doesn't really want to play units down on here. Just, like, he's not going to get the bonus damage on there for putting a unit there, so let's go there. Okay, 2 smashes is pretty good. And take a walk in 1. Yeah, it looks like he might actually get to complete another blessing, which that's a little painful. Now he's digging for the extra ability, I think. Alright. Definitely going to put him here. Going to block a little bit of damage. He wants to use an ability here, so he probably wants to use a damage ability. Because he wants to probably use that damage ability, this guy will potentially block more damage. I know it, and I'm going to take 3 from there. There's nothing I can do about that at this point. And I don't want to remove him, because I don't want him to get more units. Alright. So no deal. Definitely just doing the time warp again. There. Now we're at even footing for that. Sir, I would rather not take any damage on that tile, thanks. Alright, let's see what he plays out. I kind of hope he plays something in this lane, so that I have a good excuse to triumphant and play a guy, or play a guy and play triumphant, but I doubt that'll happen. Get the strange feeling. Oh, he's not going to play anything there, huh? I'd rather not take 6. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, well, that's always a great sign that he says, good game. I'm assuming he has the kill in hand. That's okay. Yeah, he just has. He just has some burn and a guy probably that does damage on first turn corner. Yep. So he managed to beat me down there, and that's okay. Let's open this war chest. How do I feel any better? Ooh. I actually do feel a little better. I needed that guy. Alright. One more game. I'd rather go out on a high note if I could. Sorry for the water drinking. Is this the same guy as last time? I think the name is different, but I could be mistaken. I know I have yeah, this is definitely a different deck anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. And this. Because this guy wants to play a lot of units specifically, not just deal damage. So most of his stuff is going to deal enough damage or deal damage to himself. So that's the thing with Protector Prime in a matchup like this. Okay. Yeah, he's playing basically the deck I was playing before, except better, because it doesn't have a random wizard in it. Alright. How does everyone feel about going just balls to the walls crazy? I like balls to the walls crazy today. And play that there. Let's just dump our units on the table right now. I don't mind having a guy who deals 9 sitting on the table right now, assuming they don't remove someone. Yeah, Oh yeah, we're just gonna do that. Yeah, we'll take 4. You gain your 2. Ah, I wanted him to put a unit right there. That would have been nice. Alright, now this is definitely a Vorus one. I want to rewind this back. Double Bloody Queen Death definitely doesn't for you, BBR. Alright. Yeah, I think I just draw a guard. And another Celestial Prosecutor. That one's not so great. That is not... I don't need another one of those. I only have 2 in my deck. Alright. So he's going Quick Questing. He very easily could... Yeah, he's just going to drop a guy, throw a spell out. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, we're doing this. No, you don't get to do a bunch of damage. Alright. So they have how many cards in hand? They got 3 cards in hand, so they definitely can start capitalizing on their blessing really well. If they want to use a removal, though, okay, they're going to get to do 8. That sucks. We do have a significant amount of damage on the table, however. Three. That. Dang. Yeah, that blessing is easily the most damaging thing they can do to me. I'm not dead yet. Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah. 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 Okay, so I don't think I made any gameplay errors there. Aw, oh, man. I gotta play this next one. Alright. I don't think I made any particular gameplay mistakes there. I think I just got ran over by their best blessing for what they had in hand. They had a bunch of damaging abilities, plus a thing that let them do a bunch of damage to me. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything given the cards that I had. Celestial Prosecutor did exactly what it needed to do that game. It definitely output more damage than any other unit would do. And third, I think this is the third Chaos player that we've played. Please let me play my guy. Yeah. And this is not the deck that has the buckets of mitigation. There's nothing like that in this deck. We have the Paladin Protectors, and that's more to just like prevent them from getting rid of our guys who are actually doing stuff than it is. And potentially for dropping on the turn where it looks like they're going to want to use their Gorge Rack pretty much. Let's see. I'm going to guess that this is the exact same deck that we just played against. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, we're going to go throw this guy here. And here. Now, one thing I am noticing, I'm definitely not flipping as many blessings as I do when I use Azeroth. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. So that there. Oh, an Archaon version, not the Bloodthirster version. Alright. Good to know. I am disincentivized to play units right here. Wow, we are really getting this this group of... Okay, then. Yeah, I see zero reason to deny myself. Yeah, -2 health is rough. I will definitely agree to that. Yep. I'm just gonna say, how about we don't? How about we don't do that? Alright. And I think I'm just gonna draw a card. How about we say we don't? Oh, that was the wrong one almost. It's gonna do 6 damage to me. That hurts. If I rewind this, he will definitely do a 3, 4, 5. I think I want to draw a card. It might not be the correct answer here. Not sure yet. I'd like to get 6 damage out my turn if possible. I can prevent him from playing that unit for a good long time. Yeah, I think we rewind her back. Not sure if I want to remove him. He'll deal 3 and gain 2. No, I'm not worried about that right this second. Alright, and a reset. That's great. So we're going to deal, if he does not remove this, he's going to deal another 3, 4, 5 damage when I do this, because I'll play. Oh, so he's finally gonna get rid of the prosecutor. So the prosecutor did manage to get a ton of damage in that game. So you don't get to play a unit down on your guy. Alright. We are definitely playing the no, you don't get to do that plan now. Yep. Gonna do that to advance that quest. And draw a card. Alright. Oh, thank you, opponent. I will gladly deal 5 to you, good sir. Oh, is that 6 damage? Ah. Good game. Yay! There we go. Alright. So we dirtled a little bit in the first one, and that one we definitely just did. That was right there. My life total was 20. Had I gotten the 2 healing, had he not died, I would have been at 26. He would have been at 0. So that right there was the, let's just never let you play things on the quest that you're trying to resolve. And I think that game also was a really good demonstration of Celestial Prosecutor and why I keep it in the deck right now. By the time he removed the Celestial Prosecutor, I think he added a total of 4 or 5 damage, which is basically 4 or 5 damage as a bonus. He also did his 4 damage, I believe, on his last corner of that match as well. I'm trying to remember if he actually got to his last corner or not. But he definitely did enough helping my other units doing like 4 or 5 extra damage and eating a removal spell instead of the things that were actually hitting him. So I think that so far I'm still very pleased with him. I definitely still don't want him to come up in my hand early on in multiples, so I think 2 is definitely the maximum. I could see knocking it down to a 1-of as well. So yeah, for those of you who are wondering, I did make a bunch of changes. I see a couple new people have joined into the chat. I did make some changes. A lot of talk on the Reddit about, we talked about this in the Order Reddit. I'll put that up on the description for everyone to see, so they can go view the Reddit if anyone's not on there already. Yeah, basically swapped out Knight Azorius for Liberator Prime. I am noticing the difference in difficulty completing quests, but at the same time my games are more consistent, and I've stopped dying at, like, I have won games or come back from games at 2 or 3 health several times since then. So, shocker, -2 health really hurts. And obviously Liberator Prime just adds +1, so it's a total 3 swing. Abjuration I have also picked up. Abjuration has so far been pretty good. It gets about as much damage as Swift Justice ever did. It hasn't stolen me any games like Swift Justice did in the past, but that was few and far between. Yeah, starting with the opponent getting a piercing shot on you is not great. So what other things are in here? Everything else is basically the same as far as blessings and champions. Celestial Prosecutor, as I said, has been very good in a couple of the games so far today. Was kind of in a couple other ones. When he's paired with that Liberator at the very beginning, he can really do some work. Yeah, I'm definitely a believer in Abjuration now. I won't lie, it mostly is because I didn't want to use my souls to craft it at the time. Yeah, to be fair, Order's blessings are not amazing. I think Blessed Weapon is actually better, for instance, in the Elf deck. Primarily because Elf decks, their units actually deal damage on the first corners most of the time, which means they can pick up and use the Blessed Weapons right away. Yeah, the Death Dormancy blessing is a sound beating across the head and neck. I kind of wish there was another blessing that I really wanted to run in this. Another damage blessing would be obviously super. Yeah, exactly. The Elf deck definitely likes Blessed Weapons better. I've won at least a few games just by having Hurricane Raptor pick it up on its turn and then like fast forwarding or rotating it with Heraldor, duding it. Yeah, Blessed Weapons, I usually am flooding the table with units in my deck anyway now, so it's not as bad, but I definitely would prefer a different blessing. But like Pennant of Sigmaron is okay, but doesn't have that oomph to it. Storm's Descent, not really. Yeah, there's nothing I want that's amazing in here so far. Aside from that, I dropped one copy of Tactical Formation for another Opportunity Strike because I now have 2 units that care about damage, or I have one. I now have a champion that cares about damage on the very first tile, so Liberator Prime. So Opportunity Strike makes more sense to have in there. Stormforge would be good. Yeah, it's... See, Storm Shield is another one of those blessings that it suffers from what I call the wrong half problem. It's from Magic. People who Magic use the term quite a bit, in that sometimes I want to be... Sorry, I'm messing with the camera there. Sometimes I want to have the damage prevention, and that's really useful. Other times I just want to end this game as quickly as humanly possible, and that blessing doesn't do that for you. And most times you want to be trying to kill them, not prevent yourself from dying. Yeah, Death's Blessing that prevents 3 from everywhere, really useful. What else is that? Death also has a deck that fits more in the stall theme, I think. So they're able to get away with that, I guess, is better. Like, they have a lot of random mitigation going on and healing and stuff like that, where they're looking to grind you out. Whereas I think Order is more of a tempo aggro deck. When they pop their blessings, it's not usually because they're on the back foot, it's because they're playing a unit to the table, is usually what happens as their last blessing or whatever. So they're playing a unit to the table and they're wanting to finish off the opponent if possible at that point. They're hoping to have done enough damage up to that point that the blessing will kind of kick in and let them eke out those last 5-6 points of damage. Yeah, get your opponent down to like 12, 13 health, and then if you have a blessed weapon or anything else, you're trying to do that extra damage. Whereas Storm Shield is more of a control deck thing, I think. And maybe on the next set, with Onslaught coming out, we don't know if maybe, like right now, Order is lacking the card draw required, I think, for a consistent control deck. Death obviously has an amazing amount of card draw in various forms that makes theirs a lot more consistent and more like they have the more obvious control options. They have tons and tons of removal, and they have tons and tons of card draw, which is what you kind of expect to see from a control deck. Whereas Order, they have a couple of things, but they don't have, like, other than what is that spell? Other than Inspired Glory, they really don't have card draw. And that's the backbone of any control deck. Yeah, there is one on the WHCBEU. I can't remember the name of it. Let me double check the name of it. Warhammer Champions. It's WHCDB.EU, and they have a few decks on there that at least I've recognized. Oh, maybe it's site can't be reached. Oh, never mind. I was trying to access it. It looks like it just redirects now to the card database. That's weird. Yeah, that is exactly the type of removal-heavy control deck that they have. That death gets away from, whereas how would I put it? The difference is, for Order, their control takes the form of, I'm not going to let you cast this right now, between Disruptor and Raptor, and forcing them to place units where they don't want to place them with the Archer units, the Skybolt and stuff like that, where you're like, you need to put stuff here, and you're not allowed to put stuff here, and stuff like that's their game plan, which definitely feels more tempo than it feels control, if you know what I mean. You're just trying to delay their game plan long enough for you to kill them. Now, Raptor, I think, is actually one of the more interestingly designed cards as well. It only lasts 2 turns, so it's not super abusive for like locking up a lane. Like, you have to, between whatever it's called, between Lord of the Host and Varus, you're kind of like desperately trying to say, like, no, don't leave yet. I need you to stay here to prevent this from happening. So you actually have to work at keeping it in play. But yeah, it's a really well-designed card because it delays them, and it's really good at the beginning of the game to keep them from like doing their like standard opener if they have it. But it's also really good for late in the game when they have that one thing left that they need to play to pop their blessing, and you just put the Raptor down and like, no, you don't get to finish that right now. So it's a really well-designed setup there. Honestly, most of the decks have some pretty well-designed stuff going on in there, like most of the alliances. And honestly, even Destruction, which, for those of you who don't know, Destruction is getting a bit of a... It's going through a series of play-tested nerfs by the community. Kind of. Their Play Fusion is going to be running a couple of tests. The first 2 weeks they are banning Wog Chanter and Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. Probably the 2 main things that people have complained the most about being too many bonus actions, which is Wog Chanter, and being able to hit you for 14 with no way to counterplay it with Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. Then the next week they are going to adjust the point values of some of their champion lineups so they don't get that ridiculous lineup that they have right now where they get to do kind of everything. Being able to cheat units into play with Recruiter, and being able to fast forward those units, and being able to speed up your beast to get even more bonus actions, etc., etc. And then they are looking to do the last phase, which is going to be potential rule and mechanics changes. And I think a lot of people are hoping there's something that they can do mechanically or rules-based to prevent that. Yeah, it also flips quests real well, too, that require unit damage or whatever. 11 with the Lotan Prince. Oh, you mean Lokian Prince? Yeah, play him, piercing shot, next turn he does damage. That's 3 of the 4, yeah. Yeah, that's... The Stormcast version of him is Knight Azorius, pretty much. That's why I originally had him in there. But as I said, I think... as Order is more of a tempo deck, so it doesn't really care that flipping a blessing right away doesn't mean that you then start to take over the game. We don't have anything crazy like Chaos's like deal 3 extra damage with everything you do for a short while. So you want to start putting units, anything that you do is going to start dealing damage. Ours is like swift jabs to them that you kind of just want to be playing, but naturally flow into them if you can, which is why it usually goes play unit, play a bunch of units out at the start, hope that you have some actions to back up those units while you dirtle around to get rid of all of those things, and then at the end you just play your next wave of units to hopefully take advantage of whatever blessings popped. Yeah, ignoring rend is kind of helpful. I don't have enough blocking in my deck. If I were doing a more elf-based deck with Akkelian Barrier Guards, removing rend would be perfect. But I can see giving rend as being, depending on how the meta gets shaken up too, with these tests that they're going to do with destruction, the meta could very well get shaken up just a little bit. Damage prevention could be a big thing. Because what do we got here? We got, with damage prevention coming in, like, because we have what, Stormstrike Fulminator, which is directly across, Paladin Protector, preemptive damage prevention in Disruptive Liberator, Hurricane Raptor, and Akkelian Barrier Guard. So we have a decent amount of prevention in that, not including spells like Righteousness, which everyone is now kind of refinding Righteousness, I think, and realizing it's real good, assuming they're not just blowing you out. Prince versus the Ren guy is also a hilarious thing to see my opponent try to set up. Yeah. And that's the thing. If damage prevention becomes good enough again, then maybe Azorius becomes good again. Why? Well, Azorius sounds like he is supposed to be, or Azeroth. Azeroth is supposed to be the counter to those decks, to the ones who are doing the full damage prevention lineup. I know that I faced at least a couple of death decks that have done the full, like, Cursed Altar and everything else, and Azeroth has thoroughly whooped them. Yeah, Birdman. Being able to just be like, no, this whole thing that you have completely, like, tilted your whole deck towards, I am just going to ignore that part of your strategy, and then with a deck that's that defensive, it just becomes like, you're not going to kill me in time to, like, readjust, is basically how it ends up being. So, but once again, and that's a cool thing, because once the meta gets shaken up a little bit, hey, we have a chance to really flesh out how the game is supposed to be played, I think. Right now, everything is so unit heavy that all the cool spellcaster stuff and the cool spell synergies are kind of being lost a little bit. I know Roxor has been putting out a bunch of videos. He's in the Discord a lot as well. He's been doing a lot of experimentation. It seems like he's focusing on trying to get spellcasters because they are the underutilized class of champions here, really. The only ones who really get to use wizards a lot are Death, and that's because all their wizards are basically warrior wizards. Or Nagash. And he can even deploy Risen on him. So there's not, like, pure wizards are pretty rare to be considered good. Like, Aspect of the Sea is top tier. Celestin Prime, he's a warrior wizard. No one uses, like, Soul Scryer, really. Very few, aside from the one reset deck, is using Lord Relictor. Lord Veritant, I don't see him in much anything. Yeah, and that's the other thing. And it seems like in the next set, between the fact that they've talked about realm magic and action spells, whatever those end up being, my guessing is that spell actions or action spells or whatever they want to call them are actually just going to be a nice way to template. You can cast this while you are playing a spell. That's my guess. That's my wild speculation based on zero data, but based on how they were, the way they seem like they're like, okay, they seem very aware that there is an issue in that, and I've been encouraged enough based on how they've reacted to the community and are willing to do things like the 6-week play test to figure out how to get destruction figured out. I think we'll get to see more and more of that. More and more wizards and stuff being used. Yeah, exactly. It makes sense, too. Like, I'm not sure I even like the idea that when you cast a spell, you can't use an action period. I think during design, there was a little bit of I think they thought wizards and someone doing a really heavy spellcaster heavy deck was going to be more prevalent than it is. And you can see this in, like, clearly in their design, they figured, okay, someone playing a bunch of, like, arcane bolts and stuff like that is going to be the problem. Because you can see there's counterplay to wizards in a lot of spells, in a lot of champions. Yeah, they overestimated spells. Now, there are certainly some very good spells. We talk about righteousness. The ones that you'll notice are really good are the ones that are X spell. Like, righteousness, which just comes out and does a thing. And I'm wondering if they're going to template maybe more action spells will be just ones that do their thing and then have an effect while they're there for that turn. That could be a thing. Things like Warding Light, like, they're okay that they can take 3 turns, but they can't be, that's the only thing that can happen on this corner now. That's all it is. And hopefully that they will, they'll take what they've seen in the current game into account for doing that. Like, it's a damn shame that I can't have a spell out and then gain any sort of life, for instance. Like, I feel like wizard-specific abilities should be able to be cast while you're casting a spell, for instance. I don't mean, like, I want you to be able to keep casting, like, Devour and stuff like that, but I would like to be able to do stuff like Gift of Sigmar while I'm casting a spell. It'd also make trying to actually quest on a wizard champion actually doable. Yeah, there's a lot of design space that they carved out for countering spells, and they've gone greatly underused. Yeah, because you've got Archaon has a thing for if you remove a spell. We got... No, it's not that. We got that. We got... Oh, I have him here. Runemark Deathbringer. He reduces damage from spells. Gordrak, for some ungodly reason, is able to beat up on spellcasters too, because, you know, why not just staple on more good things to Gordrak? Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm just going to play one more casual game. And you know what? Let's see. What decks do I have? I don't have a lot of very good decks right now. I have my Stormcast S. Yeah, let's play with the Storm Spell deck this time. It'll be fun. Yeah, it is impossible to quest with any sort of speed on a wizard. That's just... Get Keldrick in there. We're gonna... Yeah, I don't even know why he's in there. It's probably because I don't have very many champions for death. See, I really want to make the removal deck for death, but I have like very few of the rares or uncommons, so it just is like, it's sad trombone. I can't really do it. Sure, you want to play your units. Yeah, I wouldn't try and use my death decks. They're real bad. Well, I know where I'm not putting Lord Relictor now. Oh, it looks like they have a starter deck. I wish I didn't fight so many people with starter decks, or things that look like starter decks in my casual games. It feels bad. And like I've lost to a starter deck once when I've just had a real bad draw, but alright. So we're already gonna see something that I dislike. Okay. So you're gonna do that. Cool. I'm gonna play this guy. I'm gonna play Inspired Glory. Now, I will never get to use this guy again until that goes away or I decide to pop it. And that's a shame. Yeah, they went out of their way to make them really hard, once again because I think in their mind there was going to be a real problem with it. Oh yeah. Inspired Glory. It likes to eat removal. No, that's a good play by the opponent. Decrease my very large quantity of damage that would go on there. Yeah, let's just draw a couple cards. Yeah, Inspired Glory, man, if there's one card that I've seen that just never gets to live for any real length of time, it's that one. Alright. I'm gonna rewind this. I'm gonna take 3. That's gonna suck. But I've got 6 points of damage just on the table, just sitting there right now, so I'm cool with that. Oh. Okie dokie. Nice thing, this guy's actually still going to get to do his bonus damage. Kind of don't want to do the... I'll take 3. I feel pretty healthy. Yeah, maybe I just ignore the fact that I get to do extra damage next turn. Actually, no. I know what I'll do. Do you got another spell, friend? Because I'll take 3. I'm cool with taking 3. Ah, see, now I wish I had this guy, because Adjudicator, he likes spellcasters. He likes being able to just jump in front of people who have, yeah, arcane bolts in there. Oh yeah, he would have loved to sit right there and just shoot him for 7. Yeah, exactly. Judicator is low-key spell hate. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and shoot. And draw a card. See? Yeah, you print stuff like Warding Light, and then you make this. But why, though? But Relicta, he wants to reset things. Pfft, 7 damage. It's low-key. I don't know what you're talking about. And just draw a card. See? Huh? Oh no! Look, more spell hate! I've been duped! I've been duped, chat. They have more spell hate. Now I don't want to play this. Sure. Yeah, now you show off Gift of Sigmar? Really? 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 Now, to be fair, you don't actually have to do the reset if you don't want to. It just feels bad. It just feels bad and also dumb. Oh no, guys. I don't want to reset him though. Just throw this guy out. And draw a card. I've got my sky bolts. Do you have another scorn of sorcery to make me feel sad? No? Okay. Okay then. Yeah, it's one of the very few actually May abilities, but that's fine with me. Let me just put it that way. See, and look at this. If I could use a wizard ability, I could actually do like every other unit-based champion does and do this, and then do this, and complete both and gain benefits. Instead, I'm just gonna gain 7, and then not do anything with it. And I have burn in my hand. Oh, sorry. I deal 1 damage, I guess? Oh, no. I only deal 1 damage with righteousness. No. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think most people remember what. It's not only that, it wants a removal spell to be used. I guess that one was going to go off next, actually. So maybe that was their thought. Because this guy was actually 1 step ahead. No, I think he actually did the right thing there. It just looked weird. Oh man, he's gonna die before I get to, flip his blessing. I actually get to flip his blessing first! Oof. That feels real bad. He doesn't even get to get health. Oh no, he gets killed. He's super murdered before I get to do any of this. Yeah, shot and spell. The guy's already dead. So, his quest isn't impossible to complete, but boy howdy, it takes too long to do it. Instead, I could just be playing. Yeah, you're at 1 life. Please take, 7 times that much. And I had 3 in hand, or 6 in hand total. Alright. Well, I think that's actually going to be it for me tonight. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am a fat old lazy man. Yeah, so if you guys want to follow, you can't subscribe yet, or visit my YouTube channel down on the link there. Um, we will look at the Keldrek deck next. Yeah, what is it? Keldrek Death 2 spell, which is awful. This guy's awful. Everything's bad. I'll show you. I don't even have 3 charging Black Knights. I only have 2. I only have 2 Grimghast Reapers, so I can't really even complete that guy's quest. I have a Terrify. I have 1 Frightful Touch period. I have 1 Fearsome Crypt Flare. I have 0 of the vampire that kills things. I, for some reason, have a Deathly Resolve in here. I don't know. And some Scrying Fools. Yeah, basically anything that actually costs money, this deck doesn't have. Please, sir, I want some undead. Please, sir, can I have some more? More, you say? Out into the street with you. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna spoil you, and you get to watch me lose extremely, extremely hard with a very bad death deck. I never say I'm not a benevolent streamer. I will play the god-awful, doesn't have enough of anything to do anything, has never been played death deck. I start with 30. Apparently, I also have a Protector Prime. Cool, he's better than most of my other champions. No. Yeah, Feasting Vargeist. Yeah, I managed to get the card that you get like 2 of to start with anyway. Hello. Oh no. He's playing something offensive, chat. We're doomed already. I have died. Yeah, you get to go over here. We're gonna hope he plays Bloodthirster here, and another guy here. Increased damage from this champion. Oh! I'm gonna remove so many of your things, sir. I am very much encouraged to murder all of your things. I'm gonna put him right here. This guy, he lives in a house made of bones. This guy, I'm just gonna want to remove all the things. Yep. Oh, cool. I get to have a good unit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Put the best unit in the deck down. I can't gain life until he hurts me, chat. I can't gain life. I want him to empty his hand before, or like a little before I do this. Oh, maybe I'll just terrify some stuff. We'll see. Really? Really, sir? Please hurt me so I can heal. You know what? You don't get to move. You get to stay right there. You apparently didn't want to play this guy to begin with, so now he has to sit there. Now I'm going to draw a card. Yeah. Haha, ah. Now I just get to gain a bunch of cards. How? No. Why are you getting to do 5, sir? Now he gets to sit there forever. Yup. Aha. I had so much starting health it barely even mattered. Ooh, I like it. I want to remove a thing before I do all that. Swoopy, scary reapers. Yes. Ooh. If they're lower than I am, and they have no unit, you suck and you're good, so I know you're not. Yeah, you suck and you're good. Oh no. It only works here. Oh good. Don't put anything there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Look. Oh man, I was supposed to hold him here for like 6,000 years so I could complete this quest. Oh well. We've already determined I'm not playing a good deck. Haha! Put a card away. Put a card away. Chat, why isn't he putting a card? Thank you. Please put your card away. You have 4 cards. I think next turn I do the Frightful Touch. I think this turn I draw more cards. I love cards. I probably just killed this guy, don't I? Play a unit right here. Play a unit right here. You're not incentivized in any way to play a unit here, but do it anyway. Oh. Fine, I'll kill your stupid guy with stupid skill. Give me my Fargeist back. I have all the things. I really want him to just empty his hand a little so that my Frightful Touch actually feels like it doesn't. Fine. Creepy, scary ghouls. I really wanted him to put something here so I could remove. Yup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will certainly not put a unit in there. Okay. What do you have in hand? 4? With 4 cards in hand. 5. Prepare to be touched. This is... I am pretty sure this is extremely loose. I just wanted to do it. Get rid of a demon and a scorn of sorcery. Haha! Your anti-spell tech is gone! Oh, you better believe I'm gonna terrify the ever-loving crap out of this card. Actually, do I? I think I just remove it. Actually, no. I want to play this. I want, like, all my cards, though. Do I really want to take 2? Probably not. By a vampire champion. I'm a very smart man. I'm a very... See, when I said I didn't look at my deck, I mean I didn't look at my deck. There's a reason I don't... You know what? Yes, I have a card I can discard now. Look, all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Yep, that's a bunch of damage. That hurts. That my facial bones are very bleeding. I'm scared to play this out because he might have a scorn of sorcery. So I'm just gonna draw some cards. Wow, lots of devours. Alright. If he plays a unit that doesn't kill me, I get to... Oh no, it's a sordid affair. It's a sordid affair. No, don't do it. Haha. I'm definitely not super dead on board. Yeah, I definitely just do this. And then play my derp out. Yep, put that back. Yeah, there is no way he could possibly prevent his death by doing anything of any kind. Oh, I actually kill him. I just realized he has no cards in hand. Hooray! I've earned this victory. I've earned it. And as a moral victory, my guy, I'd just like to state, it is a moral victory. I think there's one thing I think I need to do. This was never here, chat. That, I don't know what you're talking about. That spell was never in my deck. You can't tell me it was in my deck, because it's not there. Shh. It wasn't there. Alright. Is it just me, or am I the only one who is really sad when I get a new rare avatar instead of 50 make a good card bucks? I'd love 50 make a good card bucks. I'm never going to use you. I'd much rather 50 more make a card buck. Alright. So I'm definitely going to have to head off now. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I'm not playing unplayable spells in my decks. That's a thing I've never done. So yeah, I'm hoping to be on probably not tomorrow. Maybe on Sunday. Probably very likely by Monday. Doing a bit of stuff with the family this weekend. We're getting our pictures taken and stuff like that for our family photos that we do every year. Other than that, just kind of busy, taking the kid to swimming lessons, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed watching. I really enjoyed doing this one. It was nice to go through Gold 2 promotions and all that stuff and playing a couple of fun rando decks too. If you have anything you'd like to see, feel free to leave a message. Contact me if you want. I'm a Vexilor on the official Discord. I believe I have an invite link to that chat for anyone who is looking for it. Where are we here? Just trying to see if I can find that. I don't know where it's at. I will find it for the next time, and I will put it in the description below. So once again, thanks everybody for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks for you, BBR, and what was his name? I'm sure he's gone a long time ago. Ridley Valiant, for chatting with me tonight. Have a good one.